Coming to you from Dynatrace Perform in Las Vegas, it's Pure Performance.
Hello, everyone. We are live in Las Vegas with the Performance Chef.
Exactly. I just have lunch. A lot of things to cook. So
do you have any commentary on the quality of the food here?
I think there was a bit too much of auto-scaling. I had that in my mouth.
And it's sort of a strange...
Yeah,
it's like a briny,
yeah, it sounds
salty.
pretty fat, and I think at the end of the day, it's really expensive.
Yeah, and auto-scaling, just so everyone knows, is not gluten-free. Some of the labels don't disclose the full...
It happens to be very fat.
Yeah. AI Ops is an interesting topic that we're here a little bit about here, and Andy's been doing stuff with the ACE team. Are you guys doing anything like the autonomous cloud initiative that we're hearing this week from a Neotys perspective?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've been involved with Andy last year. We did a hot day on the topic, where part of the quality gate on the in the ACM there was Neoload involved. Okay. So we were definitely part of it, and I think in that spirit, Captain is I think the next generation. Yeah. And I think I had the chance, thanks to Andy, to be involved in the Captain project. And be contributor to that. So, and I think that's so Captain comes directly with a JMeter's service. Yep. And I built the Neoload service. I said, okay, let's do something smart with the Neoload service. And I think it's there, it's available, and recently with the Captain 060, which is the official release of this, there is a quality gate, and the quality gate is pretty much inspired by the SRE specifications.
Yeah, that's right.
With the notion of indicators or SLI and objectives with the SLO. Okay. And now with this, I've added. This week I published, in fact, just before Perform, the Neoload SLI provider. So now you can define some SLI coming from Neoload. Yeah. And Captain will ask gently to the SLI provider, say, hey, s'il te plaît, Neoload, can you give me your indicators?
Exactly. I like that. Yeah. That's awesome. Now, people may not know this. I mean, you do a lot of evangelism and teaching and things in terms of the Neoload world. You lead us in the Performance Advisory Council and your countless partnering pieces. But you are a developer, near and dear at your heart. You're actually actively building and contributing to the product and things like Captivate.
So I'm not contributing directly in the product. What I'm doing is building prototypes. So usually I will try to build things that will maybe be in the product in 2 years, or maybe not.
but sort of the experimenting, the engineering part of experimenting. What if we try to pull these things together or do something interesting?
Yeah, for example, the blockchain support. So for those who doesn't know blockchain, there is a white block available in the market, and we have an official now support of generating blockchain load testing. Yeah. So it's on the market now.
That's cool.
And there's all the stuff that I did. So the Captain is one of them. Yep. The new Dynatrace integration is one of them. Yep. And also all the IoT stack as well. So there's plenty of things. Yeah. And
what else is new in the Neoload world? Because I know there's some things cooking in the chef's kitchen.
Do you mean the officially or not unofficially?
Well, no, the unofficial part would be the things that we can't. We'll just mute the mics and the. I can't believe you guys are doing that.
Yeah,
it's really going to be powerful.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, that'll be great.
It'll change the world.
But there are some things that you guys have announced recently.
Yeah, I think everyone. I mean, Scott Moore has now announced it in LinkedIn. We are starting to announce it as well. So there's a beta program on our Citrix support. Yeah. And there's a GA coming in soon, very, very soon.
Very soon, yeah.
And I'm pretty happy to have the feedback of Scott. Scott has been very...
and he was integral when I was in the Load Runner world and doing ICA work back when that was first built and many, many moons ago. But the Citrix API set, the way ICA works in the protocol, there's a lot of new things that make it easier to build that. The effort so far was pretty
I think the first thing we wanted to provide is of support and make a smooth way of designing Citrix in our GUI. So because I had the chance, or I don't know if I can say a chance, but I had the pain. I had the pain to build scenarios in Citrix in the past. Where you build a scenario and then the next morning and it's not going to work.
Yeah, one pixel changes here, one pixel changes there. It's really old school analog type record and replay.
That's true.
But then getting into an object model is the new way to do it, right?
So we added a few things in our recorder. So the recorder, from the moment you record, you have the options to start designing at least sort of.
Yeah.
So I think you're saving quite an important amount of time. And I think when we pick the technology, say we need to be smart and to select the right OCR engine.
Yep.
And I think I don't know if you've been using Google to translate menus and basically with a picture.
Yeah.
They did pretty well on that. I'm pretty impressive.
Well. So sometimes you don't know what you just ordered. You don't find out until it's way too late. And then I shouldn't have eaten that.
Yeah. So basically we picked the Google engine.
Yeah.
So the OCR engine is the one that works pretty well from my perspective.
Yeah.
And at the moment it works fine. And so we cover, of course, the both worlds. So the Stormfront, so the web access to Citrix environment, and the traditional Citrix access.
Yeah. Now, will this investment from the sort of getting that new protocol technology built into Neoload, is there technology you can leverage in other Neotys products as well as leveraging it for Dynatrace work, or having that new information, the metadata about that?
So when it comes to Citrix, I know that Dynatrace came out with a sort of a way of measuring Citrix users,
right?
And I already have a story about it, so I would like to implement it. So I'm not going to say much about it.
It's like you can instrument the server side and the client side from the monitoring. There's metrics or measurements that you can grab from a Citrix library that's running from the executable, and that's sort of like monitoring the health.
It's correct, because of course when you offer a new protocol and technology, it's important to have the monitoring layer that will bring at least the indicators that will help you to make the right decision.
Yeah.
So in the Citrix world, Citrix is exposing in the performance, the metrics.
Yeah.
So at least we have from our Windows traditional monitor
you can pick
those things. But again, we want to have something that will get more insights, because at the end of the day, we are trying to test everything, but we have less and less more time to do everything. So if you have something that helps you to test and have the right the indicators that helps you to decide, that will be really, really efficient.
So things like refresh latency and stuff like that. Cool. So check out the new Citrix. You said it's in beta now. It's GAing in a little while.
Yeah, it's going to be in a few weeks. You will hear about it.
A few weeks, something. Cool. That sounds great. Are there any other Dynatrace specific things that are new? You talked a little bit about the Captain work, pulling Neoload into that, but you also did a hot day session here, like 3 hot day sessions.
3 hot day sessions.
Which I did one of the 5 years ago. I think I did a hot day with like load testing and Atmon, but you guys were doing like load performance and the new Dynatrace.
Yeah, we want to present the concept of performance as a self-service. I think now if we're going to shift left and give the power, the ability for anyone to run a load test and get a feedback that will promote or not an application next level, performance as service is the right thing.
Yeah.
And so we had a class on that. So the idea of the class, of course, it's a Dynatrace event, so I'm not going to expose Neoload everywhere and put stickers in the room. I tried it, but they had some problem.
If anyone's not familiar, a lot of the hands-on training here is not just come learn Dynatrace. It's come learn a discipline, a practice, an idea, a concept, and actually apply that concept. So I did my stuff with JMeter or other stuff. So Neoload. But that was the idea from Andy's like 3 years ago, and my work at PayPal was the self-service.
Exactly.
Like I'm not a load testing expert. I'm just a developer, but I know I need load testing here. How do I kick off that process? And the system could say, I've got a script that can run against that. I already have it. Let's go ahead and make that happen for you.
Exactly.
And start giving you that feedback as fast as possible.
So, all the class was on that spirit. So we use, in that class, technology was well known. So Jenkins, for example.
Jenkins, yeah.
And then we tried to explain what are the features that will help you to deliver that from a data trace standpoint.
Yep.
And we did a lot of exercise, a lot of hands-on, in fact.
Yeah,
and I think when you describe performance as a self-service, Captain is just designed for that.
Yeah.
I love the fact, because I did a lot of demonstration on that.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I'm pushing a new artifact and then it goes, deploy, and then load test is involved. You don't have, in the service that we build, you don't even have to worry about deploying your load generators and controllers. It does everything automatically.
Yeah.
So the developer is basically, you just have to say, I want to just deploy that.
Yeah. It's sort of like Henrik in a box, right?
Yeah.
Or artificial Henriks?
It could be a quick one, noisy box.
That's right. Then you have to go, the movie? What was that movie? Not the AI. There was the AI movie that was with Macaulay Culkin, the creepy Spielberg one.
Yeah. But
the other, Ex Machina was it. So you'll be like Ex-Henrik.
Ex-Henrik.
Yes, exactly, for robots. How else? This is multiple Dynatrace Performance you've been at. How are you feeling about this one, then?
I love it. I mean, for us, I mean, and for me as well, I love it because it's people here is coming and they are love performance.
Yep.
They are educated in performance. They know what it
like
is.
Above average.
Yeah,
acumen. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have pretty good discussions, and at least it's real discussions. They understand concepts and things that you're trying to share.
Yeah.
So it's a really good conference for sure.
Yeah, really. And Neotys is a marvelous partner in many ways. We thank you for your sponsorship of our work in the podcast world. And of course, I still want to come to the Performance Kitchen someday and whip something up.
I now want to come to your barbecues as well.
Yeah, we're going to plan one. 2020 should be kind of good. James Pulley, our colleague in the back there. You got anything you want to add to the conversation here? You're the disembodied voice of the guy behind the camera.
Yes, the disembodied voice. So, Henrik, have you watched Scott Moore's video of the performance tour for his first video?
Yeah, so I started with the episode 1. I was impressed by the professional, intro,
dude's got polish.
I believe he has stereotyped you as the SRE.
No, he's not blonde. It's not me.
No, it's not you. Yeah, that's a different likeness.
No, I don't know. I don't get it. I saw some stickers on the laptop. I saw that's anyone, and then I saw the beard. That's anyone.
Yeah, that could be. And
then
anyone.
You saw the top knot.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Awesome. Any other outside of the Citrix stuff? Anything new coming for Neotys this year? Neoload? Something?
So for those who's not familiar with our product, I mean, we used to have this GUI traditional client similar to LoadRunner or Performer and the others.
Yeah.
We have the Neo Web, which is on the new. I would say it's similar to the transition that Dynatrace made between AppMon and the new Dynatrace.
Yeah.
We are in that way.
Transforming the client experience, how you interact with your assets, execution, and the whole,
Exactly. The web is going to be the central dashboards for everything.
Cool.
And we don't want to have infrastructure that you manage anymore. We think that with the modern elasticity and container
automated deployments,
we could basically it's going to be a dynamic infrastructure.
Okay.
Where you don't the concept of booking your infra, I think it's that was true a few years ago.
In many years you had a dedicated lab.
Yeah, that's true.
And 90% of the time it sat there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's just a very simple few set of API calls into Azure or EC2. Spin them up, spin them down, spin them up, spin them down.
No, at the moment we already have an official integrations with OpenShift, so we're going to add others.
Yes.
Which means Neoload Web, from the moment it's configured, OpenShift is configured, Neoload Web, you don't have to determine your infrastructure anymore. You say, I want to run a load test.
Yeah.
And then Neoload Web reach out to your OpenShift clusters, spin up controllers required, spin up the load generators required for the test, and then tear it down.
So in some cases, I see in the cloud a lot of people look at the test lab as, well, that's a huge expense. And in hardware, absolutely. Power, cooling, the physical hardware. But it really even then was the storage. So you have a test database. Maybe it's a scrubbed version of production or built from scratch. And even in the cloud now, if I build my pre-prod or my load test environment, that data sitting there in a quiescent state is very costly. And the app servers are really per hour, if they're not being cranked, they don't cost that much. But I personally, if you've got a couple billion rows that you need to test against for load testing, that's an expense. That's an interesting pain I'm dealing with. I know some other people are dealing with. Well, I want to run a load test, but I need to create 100 billion rows to be like production. In some cases, that's the only way to do it. In other cases, people are in microservices. It's like, all right, we can do small samples, maybe not extrapolate them thoroughly, right, or overextend our extrapolation. But are you finding that as well as people learn about cost of load testing lab target environments in the cloud?
Yeah, or I think more than that is that sometimes having the situation where I'm not able to run a test because the infrastructure is limited, it's quite a pain. So I think if everyone wants to do continuous testing or perform as a self-service, the person that click on launch the build or deployment, he wants to have basically a feedback on can I promote my release or not, and being blocked by just an infrastructure problem, it's
or even someone else running something at the same time that skews all the results.
Yeah. So I think that's very important. I think the other step would be that you don't even have to precise the number of machines you want.
Yeah.
Saying that the solution itself says, "Oh, I'm going to add an extra node because it seems that you're ramping up and I need more power."
Elastic load generation is really cool.
Yeah, that's something I would like to see.
Okay. So there's some of that potentially in the future, and some today, some in the future.
That would be something. Yeah, there is a lot of things we're looking around because I think the performance testing industry has changed in a sense, but still we have this old-fashioned. We still need to do scripting.
Yep.
We still need to do heavily correlation because otherwise there's no testing, not realistic.
Yep.
Why don't we have a way to remove that part? That would be...
Gee, I wonder if anyone spends time thinking about that, Henrik. We need to... What ingredients would we need in the kitchen to whip up a solution to that? That's tasty and good for you.
Tasty and good for you. First, we need a secret sauce.
Okay.
A bit spicy.
And I think you will need some really low latency time series capture of events across the entire stack.
So I think there is something...
Just going to throw that out there. You know me. I have habitual thoughts I can't give up. Dreams of a better world.
I think the streaming out the entire RAM data and having machine learning, understanding what is really happening, and figuring out that this user session is in fact the same than the other one because they go to the same areas of the app, would be great. So instead of having out of 1 million user browsing during the day, you say, hey, if you want to test the load, you need 2 scenarios.
Yeah.
And here's a workload model. I mean,
or our traditional thing was educated guesswork. I have an idea in the fantasy of what production looks like, that it should be these top 10 transactions with this workload, whatever. And James does a bunch of stuff in some of his workshops, actually studying the exhaust from your apps and designing, understanding where you can do tuning, but you could also harvest that information. And I think Neoload actually has some of that. You can bring in and learn from a production log. Hey, what were the top 10 things?
That was one of the prototype I made. It
was a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It worked. I mean, but
it's not as cool as real RUM data.
It's having that, but then having the step where I want to have the script out of that.
Yeah.
At the moment, there is some technical limitations, I would say.
Yeah.
Because due to some, I don't know, privacy reasons, we don't see the payload of the request anymore. We don't see all the get parameters anymore.
Yeah.
So if we want to build a script out of that, basically there's some things missing there.
Yeah. And that makes sense from a PII perspective.
Yeah. It does.
That you would not see that, or credit card, some of the rules and regulations there.
Yeah.
But being able to see the path of traversal using the referrer tags and the top-level URL, at least we know what those common paths are.
Yeah, that gets you part of the way. I know there's also things like if you look at profiling within a runtime engine, like the CLR in .NET or even in Java's JVM, there's for compliance they'll force you to run in sort of a secured mode, where if you're not allowed to hook in, like if you look at even the one agent, you can run in sort of secure mode, and a lot of financial institutions, a lot of even healthcare institutions, they don't have full access to everything you could run in. Now, in pre-production environments, if you're not in what we would say like a confidential data environment like production, you would turn on the full profiling capability within the tool. But that's something that maybe people don't know because we're all talking about new stuff. The Neoload and Dynatrace together, that's part of what you did in the hot day session, was being able to run those things and correlate the impact of the load. That's been around a while in terms of
it's been a while.
Neoload and Dynatrace running together at the same time.
I think the two main reason of the integration is to see the traffic, understand that this is the traffic of this particular transaction of my load test.
Yep.
And once you see that, then you can utilize all those awesome diagnose tools that is available in Dynatrace.
Yeah.
And because the frustration that I had in the past is say, all right, so I have this request, but is it mine?
Yeah.
Maybe I have to adjust the filters.
Yeah.
But then having that question on and on, is it mine? Like, is it my traffic?
Now the clock starts ticking. Why is that taking time? Why is that? Why I have to think, and then you have to come up with a rationale as to why that is or isn't. Yeah, that's tough stuff.
So in Dynatrace stuff, we put the header information, like all the load testing tools, so no surprise.
Yep.
But we create automatically the configuration. So we go to Dynatrace, say, hey, do you have those rules?
Yep.
No, you don't. So I'm going to create them.
Yeah.
And then you say, hey, Dynatrace, the traffic that will be marked as Neoload, don't name it with the URL anymore.
Yeah.
Name it with the transaction name, scenario name, transaction name, and then URL.
Yeah, and that comes back into Neoload. Now you can correlate.
So for the monitoring perspective, the way we do it, it's like I don't know who's familiar with as much of it in Dynatrace, but there's a concept of tagging.
Yeah.
And
not tagging like from a front end HTML inside the Dynatrace itself. Yeah.
So the way it works is like when the integration is based on tags. So if I test, for example, an application called customer, and I use that customer tag, then I will only see the services that are marked as customer in Dynatrace. So if I want to collect metrics from there, then I will be quite frustrated because if I do a load test and I just see the front end server,
customer,
I say, okay, what happened in the back end?
Yeah.
So what Neoload is doing, he's taking advantage of the Smartscape. So Smartscape, for those not aware, is like the entire topology of the application.
It actually has a really awesome visual, the way they render it. So, yeah.
So I start with the service, say, hey, this is my service customer I'm testing. Okay, give me the dependencies. Oh, there's dependency. And then, okay, this service, give me the dependency. Yeah. And then we're going down until the bottom.
Yeah.
And then say, okay, now I know the flow of services. And now I'm going to look at the process.
Yeah.
And then we go to the process, we do the same thing. And then we go to host, we do the same thing.
Yeah.
And once we have this entire picture, we say, okay, Dynatrace, now mark that has Neoload tags.
Yeah, tag it all.
And then which happens is that you can collect all the monitoring of all the stack. So then you have everything.
Yeah. That's what you get at the end of 4 days with Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson of Pure Performance.
Hi, I'm Brian.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
Nice to meet you, Henrik.
This is Henrik, the performance chef.
Yes.
He was just talking about putting Neoload tags everywhere in a Smartscape specific to a load test. Did I say that right?
Yeah, we saw that in the hot day.
Yep.
Which
but everyone that's out there probably
I'm
didn't
just
see
mentioning anybody who was there, but also acknowledging all the hard work he and Rob put into putting that session together.
Yeah, cool.
Quite amazing.
That was funny because just 1 hour, 2 hours before our hot day, we realized that because in Neoload there's a notion of big tokens.
Yeah.
And instead of putting in a server, they printed out the token on a sheet, on the card. So I would assume that the students typing this weird token will take forever.
So they found a way to get them on the machines.
All right.
Yeah.
Except one guy, one unfortunate person, jumped ahead a little bit.
Yes.
And when it went to go do the password on the card, it said password, and then had the password, and then the token with the space.
Yeah.
So there was no it didn't say token :
Yeah.
So this poor person type the entire token out, and it didn't take it. He's like, I think I did something wrong with the password, and I see like dots all across the screen. And I'm like, did you type in this part? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry. That's sorry. That was not supposed to.
That was a literal translation of what to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. So since you were involved with Hot Day as well, is there anything particular that sticks out in terms of Neoload and Dynatrace working together that you're like, that is really cool?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when I left my real world job, I was doing performance testing, and I was using the old tool.
The old man
tool. Your old tool, our good old load runner.
Yeah. And
we were pretty, you know, at that point I was done with that tool.
Yeah.
They hadn't innovated, they hadn't done anything at all. And it was like, this was 2009, 10, we were looking for a new tool.
Yeah.
And I left, and we didn't end up getting one because I went to Dynatrace. But seeing where Neotys is now, and Neoload, all the innovation that you're baking into it, first of all, should, you know, reinforces this idea like, you can actually still innovate with the tool. And now, how long has Neoload been around for? Like you said, 15 years, I think?
It's going to be the anniversary in this year is 15 years.
Right, so 15 years and still innovating, still doing really cool things, which means you can still do it. But I also look at what's going on now in the capabilities and the ways you can do this continuous load testing. And although I never want to have to go back to doing that, if I did, I think it's a really exciting time to do that because with all the automation pieces you could add in with the auto analysis, with the quality gates, and the integrations of taking the data from like Neoload, populating to Dynatrace, back and forth, just all the things that you can make the tools do with each other is awesome and exciting. And it takes you out of the, all right, I'm going to spend, as we were even talking in the classes, I got 4, we told the project management team we need at least a month and a half to check all of our old scripts, write the new scripts, run the tests, do the analysis, and by the time it gets to you, you have a week and a half.
Which means you'll have that's and that's a week worth of scripting that's just frustrating as and then like 2 days worth of one test run.
But the analysis too, the analysis is always the worst too, and also the fact that like it would fail. Like let's say you're in a crunch and you're running a test, like I'm gonna go to bed, run the test, I'll check it in the morning, you know, and then you go get ready for bed. And if I suddenly got an alert on my phone because the problem blew up. And something was wrong with the test. All right, I'll stay up another 10 minutes, see if there's something I did wrong maybe. You know, you're going to get that immediate feedback like developers are supposed to get with pushing their code. Extending that to the testing teams is just quite amazing. And I think it's wonderful work you've done integrating in that because, yes, you can do it all with the API, but, you know, we're not in the business of building the API integrations and all that. So we tell our customers, well, yeah, you can do this, and there's some work, and it'll be some great learning experience for you. But the reality is, when our testers going to have the time, yes, they need to learn how to automate. Yes, they know, but in reality, it's going to take a long time. If you can get something out of the box, that's going to do this.
Some people are never going to invest in that.
Or you sometimes might not even have the time to, or it might be down the road. And of course, then you can take a look at, okay, what were they doing under the hood? And I'm sure they would have the ability to modify that. And if they see things they want to do differently, they can add some other pieces. But it's a starting block.
I will give you my experience just as a DIY guy because, you know, in my heartbreak in letting Load Runner go up to the great load testing place in the sky, I've been doing DIY stuff between JMeter or just even command line scripting stuff, curl stuff, Python stuff, some of the new Locust stuff. I mean, it's all dabbling and then piece it together. Looking back on my last N number of years of all the cool stuff I built to integrate with Dynatrace and whatever, I'm with you. Like I'm not going to start a new job without like a Dynatrace Neoload combo. If you guys are lucky, you two. Full-time employees, it would be a Dynatrace. Give me your ideal customers where I should just go to work.
I think the ideal customer.
Wait a minute, my employer might be watching. It's not happening anytime soon. But but it is. The innovations are so compelling. It's like I would never try to do this pure DIY play again.
Well,
just gluing stuff together.
It goes back to the same place when you see the popularity of Kubernetes, when you see the popularity of OpenShift, right? When we started down the container path, this is when the DevOps started coming in, and there were not existing tools that can do all these things. So everyone started DIYing and like creating things. And out of this grew Kubernetes, out of this grew OpenShift, out of this grew these other things.
And now they're there.
And now it's like you don't have to. Although you might want to get the street cred of building your own thing, don't waste your time on that.
Yeah.
Same thing then goes in with monitoring. If you think about the open monitoring initiatives versus the vendors, you can use an open monitoring initiative to try to do all this, but there are vendors with decades worth of collective experience, maybe even centuries worth of collective experience, that have been doing this forever and ever. And now when you add into the package load tools, instead of doing the DIY, you have all the support and the expertise of like the Neotys team. And instead of, you can learn how to do the API and do the automation, but they're doing it.
Yeah.
And they're supporting it so that you don't have, you can concentrate on teaching the developers how to think about performance.
Or escalating high risk. Exactly.
All these other things. You can focus on the things that are going to impact the business.
I agree.
Yeah, I think what we mentioned is even more true. I think from the moment you start to have this real cloud native architecture, there's a real need for performance. And performance is not only about response times. It's going to be the cost. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I will survive with a smart elasticity. Again, I'm not sure, but I can survive a bit. Yeah. But at the end of the day, at the end of the month, I would say, you receive a nice building and you're happy to deliver really, really bad code, or in the opposite, you are really happy to do some performance testing.
And those prices seem, for competitive reasons at first, that they were going to go down. And if you really ask somebody that's been doing cloud deployment and operations for, like Mark Kaplan in Barbary, right? I mean, they've been full on cloud for 2 years, and made the full transition there with Dynatrace. That price is going to go up from here. Being more conscientious, I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, it was low in the beginning because they were trying to attract everybody to the
competing,
crowd. But they're still competing. But now that everybody wants to go to the cloud, they're like, we don't have to compete with let's all make some more money.
Yeah.
And bring it up and find new ways to make money.
I just thought about it. Why? Maybe someday there will be a notion of performance, but in the green level. Say how much power did I consume?
You can track some of that already. I think Azure and Amazon both will tell you power consumption for your account, because there's a lot of accounting or there used to be tax credits in certain countries for a green credit if you could actually prove that you had done stuff. So,
but I wish they had APIs on an instance level, right? Like you can look at those things on your account level in most cases. Yeah. But like to be able
or an operation level would be nice,
right? But if you were to say like, hey, I'm a developer, I'm going to check in my code and I'm going to run it, and what I need to run my code costs X amount at a granular level. Like my code on
this function,
whatever it's running in is going to cost this much to run on. And now if I change that to, instead of it costing 3 cents per hour to 2 cents per hour, multiplying that, and even for the performance team, you can turn around and say, how much money is this saving or impacting the company?
How much power does an N+1 problem actually cost you?
Yeah.
You're like, whoops.
And if you pull that
was a lot of electrons.
And if you pull that in via the API, you can now include that in your report. Like imagine a performance report with here's how it's going to perform and here's how much it's going to cost.
Or the cost of a limited scalable system, meaning you're only ever able to get N number of value out of the given transactions because, I'm going to throw hardware at the problem. It's easy to throw hardware at a problem in the cloud, really fast. You don't need to think about it. Just clone. It's make it very easy. They didn't solve the pain of power consumption or resource consumption. Yeah. They solved the problem of spending money. They make it easier to spend your money faster. That's great, but let's think about the planet.
But the cool thing is then if you are doing something like Fargate or functions where you don't even know about the hardware, you won't even be thinking about the power.
Yeah.
And in a way that almost might be even better, because who will be thinking about the power will be AWS.
Yeah.
And they're going to be thinking about the return on what they're selling it for. Right. So they have two options. Number one is they can either increase the price and risk maybe losing you, or they can figure out a way to run this cleaner so that they can keep the price the same and make more money.
It makes me think about the Core OS stuff being a new version of a really low overhead kernel.
Yeah.
Forget the coolness of the compile it, fully ephemeral and ephemeral OS, but just the low size of it would be very cool. Awesome. All right. Any last thoughts as we close out? This is day 4 of Dynatrace.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. I'll be heading to Salt Lake City, enjoy the powder champagne in Utah. But just before, just for the closing, I would say that for guys who's not aware, there's a PAX Santorini happening in 3 weeks. So we want broadcast anything because the last time the quality was quite poor.
Yeah.
So we will focus more on building content after the event. So you will hear more after the session.
Yep.
But if you're looking for videos, the traditional virtual pack will still be there.
Virtual pack is later this year.
It's going to be in September. Yes.
September, yes. Which is always a good time.
It is.
And that one again. We're going to do another 24/7 around the sun
again. Yeah. So
I think have come up with a theme
I think I need to definitely ask for sponsorship for an energy drink or for Starbucks. I don't know, but something.
Or just a coffee manufacturer.
Yeah, all the way,
you know, like what's some of the which was the one with the mule that comes in, the famous Juan Valdez. You get Juan Valdez coffee.
Yeah, well.
That'd be good. So Henrik, thanks for joining us very much. People can follow you, obviously at Neoload. What's your actual Twitter handle?
It's at #Rexed.
Yep.
And otherwise in LinkedIn, you can find me as well as Rexed, Rexed.
Yep.
Rexed.
Yep.
So this is the both way to follow me. Although you will see a weird Lego guy, so don't be scared. It's not a commercial for toys, but it's me.
Yeah, that is you. And that'll be cool. So,
awesome.
Yeah, thanks very much for joining us, and thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building.
No, he's right over there, actually.